I'm going to start this review the way most of us do when we are about to drop a big-ticket item on a budget, with a little caution and a lot of curiosity. You've probably seen a handful of hype videos that scream best TV ever, and then rush you into a checkout. I want to skip the hype and actually help you decide if an 85-inch TCL F7D 2026 is the right fit for your living room, your gaming setup, or your movie night rituals. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of hesitation most buyers have with a TV this size. An 85-inch screen is a serious visual commitment. You're basically turning a wall into a window. That means you have to think about viewing distance, lighting conditions, and what you'll actually be watching day in, day out. A lot of people worry about glare in a bright room, about whether the picture will look washed out on a typical TV cable feed, or whether the smart platform will be fast enough for streaming binge watching. On the other side of the coin, there's the fear of overpaying for features you'll never use. Does Dolby Vision truly make a difference on a Netflix stream? Will the game Accelerator 120 actually improve a competitive gaming session, or is it just a marketing term? Those are the questions I want to answer, and I've spent the past few days digging through the specs, watching a few demo videos, and reading through the handful of user comments that actually exist for this model. The F7D is a 4K UltraHD TV that uses QLED's quantum dot technology. In plain language, that means the panel can push more color volume than a regular LCD, especially in bright scenes. In a high-brightness LED backlight environment, which is a core selling point for this 85-inch model, you'll notice that HDR content like a nature documentary or a solar eclipse sequence really pops. If you've ever watched a movie in a sunlit living room and thought the picture looked flat, a TV that can hit higher nits of brightness will keep those details from flattening out. The HDR Pro+ suite adds Dolby Vision on top of HDR10+, HDR10, and HLG, so you're covered no matter which streaming service you're pulling from. Now, where does the value really sit? For a screen that large, it's hard to ignore the price tag. TCL is known for delivering a big screen at a lower price than the premium brands, and this model follows that trend. The trade-off is not really in the picture quality. The QLED panel delivers a respectable contrast ratio and vibrant colors, but in the nuances of motion handling and gaming latency. The TV boasts a motion rate 240 with MEMC, motion estimation, motion compensation, frame insertion, which essentially interpolates extra frames to smooth out fast motion. In practice, that works well for sports and fast-action movies, but many cinema purists find the soap opera effect a bit artificial. If you're the type who watches every new blockbuster with the intention to see it exactly as the director intended, you may want to turn that feature off or look for a TV that leaves motion untouched. The game Accelerator 120 is one of the more intriguing features, because it only applies to 65-inch and larger panels, exactly where the 85-inch belongs. It promises a 120 Hz refresh rate and an automatic low-latency game mode, ALLM. Real-world tests I've observed show a modest reduction in input lag compared to the base mode, roughly a few milliseconds, which can be noticeable in fast-paced shooters or rhythm games. However, the improvement isn't a game-changing leap. High-end gaming monitors still have an edge. If your primary use case is casual console gaming, especially on next-gen consoles that push 120 frames per second titles, the Accelerator will feel like a nice polish. If you're a competitive gamer who thrives on sub-10 ms response times, you'll likely still gravitate toward a dedicated monitor. One of the strengths I saw in the user interface is the built-in Fire TV experience, which is something you won't get with every QLED set. That means you have Alexa voice control baked right in, and you can pull up Prime Video, Disney+, Hulu, and a range of other apps without an extra streaming stick. For households already entrenched in the Amazon ecosystem, that's a real convenience. You can say, "Alexa, play the latest episode of The Boys," and it starts instantly on the massive screen. The downside is that the Fire TV UI can feel a bit cluttered when you have a lot of apps installed, and occasional lag spikes are reported on lower-end Wi-Fi routers. If you're a power user with a wired Ethernet connection, you'll likely avoid those hiccups. Let's talk about the practical installation side. The 85-inch panel is fairly lightweight for its size, but you'll still need a sturdy wall mount rated for at least 150 kilograms. The VESA mount pattern is standard, so most reputable mounts will fit, but I'd recommend a motorized tilt or full-motion arm if you have a bright window behind the TV. The remote that comes with the